Soju just being around and being consistent is like helping.
Yo, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so you're telling me Soju is as high as he is by default because no one else is around, and then you're telling me 2 people rank Soju above. Yeah, all right. Okay, just don't rank for next time. Yeah, all right.
Wait, yeah, you're 12th on this list. Can you tell me about Guubums at 12th? Hello, everybody, and welcome back for another episode of Don't Talk If You Don't Know, the unofficial official podcast dedicated to covering all of the high-level North American teamfight dice competitive scene. My name is Frodan, and today I'm joined by a special guest, or special host, rather. It's kind of a revolving door these days because Bryce has been traveling a lot. He's kind of taking set 12 off, so to speak, at the moment. But we're more than happy to be joined once again by Guubums, who's been kind of a big part of the co-stream. So Guubums, how you doing?
So I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
Just happy to be here. This is pretty fun.
It's fun to have you. Right? Also, Guubums is part host, but he's also part guest because he's going to be yapping like a guest. You already know.
Oh, wait, should I be more of a host or guest? I feel like I should be more of a host.
Be half guest, half host, because I don't know when the next time you'll be on technically. So I love to get some of your opinions, both as a person that wants to facilitate discussion and contribute. But it's been good. How's your set 12 been so far, Guubums?
I mean, it's been alright. I started climbing like recently. I mean, I don't know. I kind of just like. I think it's actually been okay. I think the set's pretty fun. I'm not a huge fan of like how much we have to play at the start of set, given like box and like how soon the first tournament was. But we were literally just talking about like whether or not we liked the set or not recently. And I mean, I said I liked it, but there's some like conflicting opinions here and there. So seems like a pretty enjoyable set though.
What do you like about set 12 then in particular?
Well, I think like charms for me personally, like I like to think like I know when to buy charms. Obviously, there's still gonna be areas of improvement for like anyone. Like it doesn't matter how good or bad you are. But so I think like that's pretty cool. I think a lot of the sets or a lot of the units of set, even like the reprint ones aren't like that reprinty, right? Like they try to like add a little bit of a niche. Like I mean, for example, like Karma, right? Before she was gone or before they nerfed the heal, like that's like pretty cool, right? Like obviously Karma or like Karma type units have existed like several times, but like having a little bit of a heal there, like that's cool. I think like Nami's like a pretty new unit. I don't think there's like any Namis. Rise is like fairly new. Like even if it's like, okay, Rise is like kind of like TF, they're kind of the same thing, but like there's like a little bit of like new things here and there. Like there's a lot of units that are just like fresh, and there's a lot of traits that are fresh. So that's why I like the set. Yeah.
All right. We'll catch up with a little bit more about that in the meantime. For the first time ever, we have 2 new guests to the show. The first is somewhat probably like long overdue. I'm actually sad that Bryce isn't here because Bryce is a big time Spencer glazer. Although that's not saying much because Bryce glazes a new player every hour. But he's a big fan of Spencer and he's been kind of beaten to the drum of Spencer. So welcome to the show for the first time. How you doing, buddy?
Good, I guess. Bit nervous since I don't really use cam that much, but yeah.
Okay, well, don't be nervous. I mean, you look great so far, and it's usually you stream, so just ignore the fact that you're on camera. Just be yourself and hang out. So Spencer, talk to us about where you are in your TFT journey. Actually, like, are you taking set 12 seriously right now, or are you just kind of playing while doing school or other things in life right now?
Probably like I'm taking probably like set 12 like a bit more seriously. It's like one of the like sets I'm enjoying a lot more than previous sets. It's like the set mechanic isn't like as like intrusive as like other set mechanics. It's like one of the it's like a set. It's finally like a set where the set mechanic isn't like a Giga Grieve. I feel like.
Yo.
Have you enjoyed any set mechanic? Okay, I remember you weren't even a big fan of augments when it first came out at set 6. You actually really didn't like augments.
I've kind of accepted it because like they just have to stay because for the casuals. So yeah.
Wait, do you still not like augments, or is this like?
I'm like okay with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've
come to accept it because like
okay.
Yeah. It's not gonna remove for sure.
Dude, this Spencer guy, let me tell you. Okay, first of all, Spencer's already rank 1, right? But I'm pretty sure this Spencer guy never picks the correct augment, never slams the right item, and he's still rank 1. So I'm pretty sure this guy has to be the best player of all time. Because as soon as he learns how to pick the right augments, it's actually fucking over. Wait, hold on. Am I allowed to swear?
No, you can totally swear. Yeah,
Okay.
that's so interesting. I've never heard people criticize Spencer's augment selection. I've heard people
No,
criticize
you don't
items
understand, man.
but
No, you don't understand, man. Dude, me and Graham watch this guy. We just watched. He just permanently picks the worst augments. Still top fours every game. Nah.
Okay, that's interesting. I want to dive into that a little bit more, but I also want to welcome our other guest for today. He's the winner of the Tacticians Cup #1. You may have seen him a lot on ladder. In fact, he's kind of been more of a mysterious challenger than actually a person who's been on camera. But apparently, he streams a lot to the Taiwanese audience. It's me1stor8th. Welcome to the show.
Yo, thank you for having me here. I feel very excited to talk about TFT in the podcast.
Yeah. I see you in chat a lot. I see you also talk a lot to the Taiwanese. Do you consider yourself like half of an NA player, half Taiwan, or do you consider yourself like pure NA?
Oh, I consider pure NA, and all of my audience and fans joke about it. Say I'm 0% Taiwanese.
Oh, okay. Even though you talk to them, got it. That's cool. Well, give us a little background about yourself. We've met and talked to Guubums in the past, and people know about Spencer, but just for people who have never met you before, can you talk about your TFT journey? When did you get started and when did you start competing?
I started playing TFT at set 1, but just play normals until like set 4. Set 4, I stopped playing rank and 2020 Aegon comp to challenger that set.
Aegon comp?
And yeah, you just lock it and flex around Tristana or Assassin. And then I think starting set 7, I consistently hit challenger, and set 8, I stopped playing tournament. But I was like, I was normally GM and between GM and challenger at set 8, and set 9 is like consistently challenger. Yeah, and I played all the tournament at set 9 and feel burnout at set 10 and 11, and only play one comp, one tournament during set 10 and 11, and come back at set 12. I was planning to quit set 12 again after the first tournament, but since I win it, I probably have to play more.
Wait, do you not like set 12?
It's not like I don't like set 12. It's like my summer break is ending soon.
Oh, you're in school.
Yeah, and I was burned out for TFT, but now I feel like the mental is reset. I'm good to complete again.
I see. Yeah, winning solves a lot of mental issues for sure. I mean, actually, that's not even necessarily true. Disso won Worlds, and I think he's pretty much at the verge of burnout himself because he's been playing so much. But it's good. Congratulations on your win. We're going to talk a little bit more about Tactician's Cup.
Yeah, I have a question for me1stor8th.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, wait, how'd you come up with that name? Because I'm pretty sure I've been in like infinite lobbies with you. I don't think I've ever seen you gone 8th or 1st.
Okay, it was back in set 4. Like, I still grinding for a little Legend ring, so my ID was a Barcord, which is random INLs. And like everyone was contesting Aegon comp, and I feel like I need to come up with a better ID to let people know I'm not pivoter.
Oh, I see. Interesting. But but is that true? Are you not a pivoter? I feel like you've gotten better at the game, so surely you pivot.
Yeah, I start pivoting.
Wait, he's marked. That means if I'm playing against this guy, I'll know he's gonna pivot. Wait, what?
Okay. And it's interesting because, and I guess now it's just people call you me1stor8th all the time? Do they do that also when they're gaming? Because I feel like that's a really, really long name to calm if you're like hanging out and playing ARAM.
I mean, 1stor8th is a little bit shorter. Is that better?
Yeah. Okay. Probably 1stor8th. I can see that. Okay, all right. So that is our introduction. I mean, Spencer, you've been playing since the very beginning, but set 12, you would say you're taking it more seriously. When was the last time you took a set seriously before that, though? Were you playing 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6 seriously at all?
Oh, probably like 6.0. That was like the last time I had like infinite fun in the set. Set 10 was not bad, but I hated Chosens. Set 11 was okay, but encounters were just a gig of grief.
Okay, I have a different question.
Was like 6. Oh, yeah.
What mechanic is not a grief? Like, what was the last mechanic that you would... Because a lot of people would say augments. Or,
say set 3,
but it doesn't feel like you have actually enjoyed augments. At least you accepted it. You've come to tolerate it. So what actually is a good mechanic?
Galaxies. Like, it's basically like portals right now.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure everyone, like... I feel like most people like portals, right?
Yeah, I think portals.
Yeah.
Unball's like there's like better galaxies. It's like galaxies that are all like all the grief galaxies, right?
No, there are some, but like
I mean,
yeah, most of it are like very fun.
At least it has the illusion of control because you can vote. In Galaxies in set 3, you were just plopped into Prismatic Party. You couldn't choose.
Oh yeah,
You're just screwed. Well, I mean, not Prismatic Party. The worst offender in set... What was the worst offender in set 3?
oh, wait, dwarf.
Lilac was up there.
The 4 cost. All 4 costs.
Yeah, Lilac.
Okay, me first. What was the worst Galaxy in set 3?
The one unlock your item. I forgot the name.
Oh, the 2-item one.
Oh, 2-item one, and then there's
Binary Galaxy.
Dude, I didn't play much because I think this is like 0.5 only, 3.5 only. But the one that shrinked your board was a complete scam.
Oh yeah. Okay, it was like Dwarf Planet.
Mini, or like I don't know.
Just 3 rows or something.
It's
Imagine
3 rows,
playing that.
Dude, it was a complete scam.
With like I don't know, like it's like a board wide AOE. Like everything just hit the entire board.
GP, Mech, and Victor.
Yeah, it'd be like this set, Nami's cast, just like hits the entire board, and you just can't do anything. So, oh, good times. Well, okay, so you heard it here. Spencer says the last mechanic you enjoyed was Galaxies, and that's funny because we haven't really had a set mechanic since then that he's enjoyed, but he's tolerated. He's at least tolerated the augments, and I mean, I guess Charms ain't bad. Let's talk a little bit about some of the news of what's happening around since our previous episode. So the first is the mid patch. We actually had a B patch technically, but it was like a hot fix for some bugs. So we had Pyro trait no longer incorrectly stacks on a unit. Rise with stack shift no longer shibs your own team, which is great. That's actually a little funny interaction. I mean, not so funny if you had to play the Rise, but funny that it happened. Temporary items from select occurrences no longer become permanent. I believe that was with Fairy, and there's like some abusable things you could do with that. 3 stars there, Secret Charm now works properly. That's something that if you hit Steric 3, you kill the entire board. Briar's new Talker's Trials effect no longer active in other modes. If you guys have been seeing that Briar has been particularly OP, it's because in Talker's Trials, which is the PvE game mode, she actually has a additional passive that gave her 40% damage amp, and they shipped it for live. So it was actually the same Briar from the PvE mode, and that's why she was so OP. And they had to change that because in Talker's Trials, you have different HP than you have in a real game. And so they tried to adjust for that accordingly. And then Arcana Emblem damage amp now functions as expected. There was a bug where people were abusing, where you get infinite Arcana damage, like thousands. And then some Talker's Trial rerolling stuff, and CC immunity effects no longer display debug text. Okay, so now that this is all in, they fixed a bunch of bugs. How do we feel about the patch? Start off with Guubums.
Okay, I actually think... Wait, are you talking about B-patch or just, like, in general?
I mean, either, I guess. How do you think about the B-patch and the main patch?
Yeah. Okay, so Shiv Rise... Like, Shiv has always probably been Rise Bis, or at least, like, very close to, like, a top 5-ish, like, 5 to 7 item. But the thing is, you never put it on him because he shivs your own team. But the data would suggest that, like, Shiv Rise is always good anyway. So, and then also now that they've nerfed, like, a lot of the OP items, like Adaptive, Death Cap, I don't know, there's probably a couple other ones. Like, even, like, JG feels, like, a lot more soundable now. And, yeah, I mean, I think, like, that's pretty good. So, like, Rise Itemization, you can actually just build Shiv and just play Rise. And, as for everything else, I mean, I fascinate a lot. But I was also fascinating, like, on last patch, too. So, I mean, it feels good for me, but I don't know what other people... I'm pretty sure I'm still behind on the meta, honestly, because, like, I was looking at some stuff earlier today, because I wasn't playing much today, and it looked like there's, like, still stuff to learn, so... But, yeah, I think the patch is pretty cool.
Okay. Spencer, how do you feel about the patch?
I pretty much have the same meta read as Guubums, since we're, like, in the same study group. I think reroll is still good, but...
yeah, it's just like
some are some like Nala is kind of like nerfed a little bit. I think things like playing around 4 costs is like slightly better. Like I think Karma's like really strong just because I think like a lot of the 5 costs are like buffed, right? Like Briar is like really good, and Willow got buffed. Yeah, and Karma can use like pretty much every 5 cost in the game besides like Smolder. Yeah.
Okay. So you're part of Guubums' group, but you're also part of like. Soju,
yeah, they're all rats, man.
And all of them. So, like, were you just 2-timing them? Are you actually not part of one group? Like, can you talk to me a little bit about like?
I don't know. I'm part of both groups, but like, I mean, Soldier's group just no one ever talks about TFT there, so I just like kind of like migrated to the other group more.
I see.
The other group literally just doesn't talk about TFT. It's like 5% TFT, bro. Like 95% of those, I don't know, something else. Yeah.
I feel like they're always talking about just like when they're like Milk is harassing them about when can we stop playing TFT and go on vacation, and then anytime and like Soju is just talking about like his Valorant night market. If you ever talk about TFT in the group, they always just question ping you and say, "Who are you talking to, bro?" Every single time, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if anything, it's not like Spencer's ratting. It's just more like he actually needs to talk to somebody about TFT.
Dude, I'm pretty sure we just stole their entire study group because now we have Kyun, Milk, T-God, and Spencer now. Except Milk is completely useless.
Really?
Spencer's actually like somewhat okay. Spencer has literally zero tech, but Spencer will always join call and just watch you play, or like he'll stream his own game so you can learn that way. Precedent is like, dude, I'm pretty sure this guy's straight up trying to feed us trash.
Wait, really?
And then Kyun comes in here and he just tells us every single bug abuse.
I mean, that's useful though. That's useful.
Yeah.
Like you need to know, you need to know it so that way, one, either you like are avoiding it, or two, like you know what other people are doing. So
I'm pretty sure he told us that we can abuse, man. Like, let's be honest.
Sure.
But then they just patched all of them, so I don't know what to do anymore. I'm pretty sure this Kyun guy, I'm pretty sure he might.
Kyun's a rat. Underhanded tactics. I like it. Okay. First rate, what do you think about the patch? Do you agree with these guys?
Yeah, I agree most of the part. And this patch seems better than last patch. Like, they tuned down the OP roll count like Warrior and Ari. You cannot just hard combat at 2-1 without anything. And then, like, I feel like knowing all the bugs is helpful. Like, yesterday I was playing Kog'Maw and I clicked combat bandage, and someone in the game just told me the argument just straight up doesn't work after this.
Yes. It doesn't work after like stage 5. But it's pretty good until stage 5, I guess. It helps you.
Yeah, really, it's all decent.
Or not?
No.
Okay, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they acknowledged it yet, to be honest.
Okay, well, here's another bug I'll tell you guys about that they haven't listed here. Apparently, 6 chrono doesn't work half the time.
It
doesn't work on away
bug.
boards or something like that.
No, okay, so Dishop was saying like it doesn't work on home boards, but then what happened was like we were watching Milk and Milk was just playing it. Literally, this is like an hour ago. And then it didn't work on home boards half the time either. So it's not like, so Dishop just thought it was like that was like the problem, but it wasn't that. It's something else. We just don't know what it is.
I see. Okay. Well, either way, Chrono is extremely inconsistent, which is kind of sad because they did a bunch of buffs for Chrono. And I think a lot of people want to play around Karma as one of their main game plans. She seems to be like something that has improved a lot due to the tree being much more dynamic. But just be PSA, there's a lot of bugs still in the patch. Even this is just some of them. We only have one other announcement, which is the upcoming sub-regional Ascension of the Ages #2. This is happening actually starts today. And I'm guessing since you guys are here on this podcast, you guys aren't playing in it. I feel like you guys you're just going for snapshots, yeah? Like Spencer.
I didn't even know about it.
Dude, we don't know about this.
Yeah, it's so hard to find like TFT news, I feel like.
No, okay, honestly, I'm pretty sure even if we did know about it, I'm pretty sure like chances are people aren't playing in it.
Well,
probably
it is a good opportunity. So this is sub-regional, and it's a good opportunity for people to compete and get a chance. I do think that there's a good amount of challenger players that play in it because they know that snapshot is very unrealistic to them to try to make. So they just rather try to play in a 3-day tournament. But this actually contributes a lot to like that middle class burnout who they play 3 weekends in a row. They play Ascension of the Ages, they miss. They have to climb for snapshots, they miss. They play Tactician Trials, they hit, and then they have to play Tactician's Cup, and then they get eliminated in like day 1 or day 2. And so they played 40 hours.
Like I want to be clear. Like I think they actually are very worth playing in. I was actually trying to convince some people in our group to go play in them because like I think it is worth playing in it. If you're like a really really high tier player, most of the time like because the competition is a little bit on the lower side, just like relative to like what these players are used to.
Yeah.
Then if you can't find the time to like grind for top 23 or whatever, then this is like a good way of getting you into cup or even like getting into trials. Obviously, and then if you're like a lower level, like if you're not an elite player, this is like a good way to get like some tournament experience. You're still playing against like a decent amount of good players here and there. So, yeah, I think it's definitely worth playing in. I was just saying like just for, like Spencer, I guess, who's rank 1. It's probably not worth.
It's probably not worth, but I think like Pokemon and Gray are kind of like not actually played ladder. So if they wanted to compete, I guess they could play in a sub-regional.
Yeah, I was actually telling those two specifically to play, but they're pretty like checked out. So
yeah, I think that makes sense. They had a pretty intense set 11, but that's okay. So this will be wrapping up this Sunday, and then, believe it or not, we're going to be starting up Tactician's trials again pretty soon in a couple of weeks. So got a lot more coming, which we're actually going to be a subject later on as part of our agrees today. We're going to talk about some format stuff, just as a preview. That's part of the reason why we have Guubums here. Okay, in the meantime, let's go ahead and recap what happened in Tactician's Cup day, I guess the entire tournament. So we'll start off with just from the back, the end, and then kind of move our way back. So this is our top 16. me1stor8th wins the tournament, 44 points, 101 throughout the weekend. So pretty solid performance as well. It's not like, you limped in there with like 80-something points and somehow spiked the final day. So just talk to me about your tournament run, 1stor8th, and whether or not you feel like, this was something that you expected because your confidence was really high. Was this kind of a surprise to you going this far and winning it?
Oh, I was planning just to get into day 3, so I have a chance to get some qualified point at first. And day 3, I just started the game with like somewhat high roll game, and then into 2-10 portal. I know I have to win the tournament now, or it's just embarrassing after now win. Like it's embarrassing if you don't win the tournament after 2-10 portal. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. You had back-to-back 10 portal games, and then you had like a crazy like Ari game afterwards for triple firsts. If I remember correctly, that's right.
Yeah, I high roll Ari with Spellblade and high voltage and the silver ticket.
Oh yeah,
dude, these tourney winners are all high rollers, man.
I mean, you kind of have to though, right? You can't win this tournament without it. Yeah, that makes sense. Did you prep by yourself for this tournament? Do you have, because we listened to Guubums especially talk about their practice group.
I prep for myself for most time. Like, I just watch the other people's stream to learn how to play the com. For example, I watch Ryu play to learn Kog'Maw, and watch Vision as trial to learn how to play Katarina. Because during the trial, I was playing Nyla Akali without Katarina. I just roll all the 2 cards to 3-star, and then first day find Fiora and Gwen. I didn't even know Katarina was that good during that time.
Ah, I see. No, Cat's very good. And did you play it at all during the tournament?
Yeah, I played it last day, a second game.
Okay, and looks like you got a second. Nice, done. I do have some comp stats that we can talk over, but I first wanted to kind of talk it over with Spencer. Spencer, third, while you were really competitive even till the final game, had a possibility of potentially winning the tournament. This was one of your best performances since set 5, basically. Like, this is probably in terms of your regular cup. You've entered a lot of cups. This is your best tournament since. Do you think it's variance finally swinging your way? Do you feel like there's something special that went into like set 12 or this tournament in particular?
I don't know, man. I lost. I don't know. I didn't low roll. I guess I high rolled. We got a high roll a little bit. Did we tell 4?
No, you do not.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I high rolled. I don't know.
Okay, then let me ask you a different question. Why do you think the other tournaments, the results weren't coming together? Were you low rolling a lot in those tournaments?
It's probably because I wasn't really like into the set at the time, or like the patch specifically. Yeah, I think it's just mainly that. Because usually if I find something else like that's fun, I'm probably like addicted to that. Like I have addictive personality, so like I'm probably like spamming that other game or something, and just like not playing TFT as much. So I don't know.
Okay. So it's just, so you would say that you've been more distracted and not actually focused on maximizing your results. You're not taking it seriously.
Yeah. At least for the past couple sets. Yeah.
Do you feel like you're gonna ever want to take TFT on the more serious end? Because you are investing like a good amount of time. So there's an element of it which is like, you know, if you are just kind of having fun messing around, is one thing. But it seems like you kind of have your foot like one in, 1 foot out, and like it feels like you to the outside observer, it feels like you can't make up your mind if you want to take TFT seriously.
It's maybe because I like start the set like strong early, and then eventually like get burnt out as well. Like that's another reason that I just do worse later, I guess. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. And I'm not trying to grill you here. I'm just trying to understand, because I think a lot of people hear the hype, right? Guubums hypes you up. Bryce hypes you up. I mean, hell, I hype you up. Precedents in chat always saying that Spencer's incredible. But it feels like, but then when we see you, right, we see the ladder result, and they see the tournament, we hear that you're not taking it seriously. So there's a little bit of like that disconnect. Like, should we be ranking? Like, do you feel offended if people don't like rank you? Because like some people do. They're like, I can't believe you wouldn't rank them, even if they're not like, you know, taking it super seriously. They're obviously going to be a threat in the tournament. And then some people don't care at all. So I kind of wonder where you are about that.
I don't care too much. People have like their like own different opinions. It's like,
nah, he cares, man. This guy's an ego. Don't listen to him.
Oh, okay, Guubums. You had that on good authority, or are you just speculating?
Okay, I think this is what I genuinely. Obviously, I was just making like a troll remark, but like, I think like he'll feel disrespected if you actually like rank him low, like low, or like pretty much like I think there are ways where he can feel disrespected. I think, but like normally, I don't think he cares that much. But also, I think Spencer had a pretty strong set 11. Honestly, like I think on the last tournament he got DQ'd, but he was actually like doing quite well in the first 2 cups, and then he had a bad regionals. I think he got D1 or whatever, but like, I mean, it happens.
I played like 200 league games, I think that. I'm just
yeah, dude, this guy keeps asking me to play League.
Yeah. I don't know, I just got addicted to League, and then I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Then I just went 8th in regionals.
Yeah, I mean, everyone was like laughing when you got drafted for regionals, because it was like, dude, like, who is it? Not Soju, but like, it was like, dude, this guy just doesn't play any TFT right now. He's just playing League of Legends. Which is wild. Usually you don't see that happening. At least I don't really hear many people spamming League these days. So, are you a beast at League?
Oh no, I suck. I'm trash.
Oh,
I don't know. I just got addicted again for some reason. And then,
okay. First rate, are you a League player? Is your background, or is TFT like the first time you played? Like,
I was master at season 9 in League, but I just stopped playing solo queue because it's really tilted, and I just stopped playing TFT and ARAM and quit rank.
What was your username in League of Legends?
It was Barcore. It just random INLs.
Barcode?
Barcode.
Barcode.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. I guess you're just one of those barcode players terrorizing ladder. Second place was Tex from Brazil, but there were not many more Brazilian players. In fact, if you look at the entire field, top 16, 13 of them from North America, 2 from Brazil, 2 made in the top lobby, but no LATAM players in the top 8. Almost Fritz made it, but he was just on the outside looking in. Out of all these other players, Ripple, Milk, Bobster, Replay, Guubums, talking about one player's performance you think is noteworthy that you want to call out in the top 8.
I mean, no one. I mean, most of these guys are like pretty well-respected players. I'd say like, yeah. I mean, I don't think there's anyone like super. Certainly, no one surprising. I at least at the very least like recognize all these players. I think like you know, like sometimes you can like categorize it like mentally. Oh, like this guy's kind of like a GM-ish player, but like, and then some guys like you know they're like a challenger player or like high G challenger player. It's like I feel like everyone falls into like at the bare minimum you recognize them. But I think most of these guys are all like 1200 plus. That's not like I've definitely seen them all at 1200 plus at some point. So there's nothing too surprising.
I want to call out the Koala mate. He actually won Tactician Cup number 2, so he's made like 2 final lobbies in the past 3 tournaments. That's impressive. Ripple got 4th at Tactician Cup number 3, so he technically has back-to-back Cup final lobbies and top 4s in particular. If you actually look at his history, he actually gets 4th in a lot of tournaments. Kind of interesting. Replay another final lobby. His past 5 tournaments, 8th at Tactician's Cup number 1 in set 12, Regionals, Golden Spatula, he went 11th, which is really good. He was 1 point off from making final lobby, or tying. Tactician's Cup number 3 for set 11, he went 8th. He went in the final lobby. And then Tactician's Cup number 2, he went 11th. So he actually kind of has this pattern of going 8-11, 8-11, 8-11. Or, if you look at it, it's 8-1-1, 8-1-1. Kind of an interesting... It's just a coincidence. But Replay is extremely consistent in these tournaments. So I think it is worth noting that we ranked him second, I think, in the overall field. And people... Or I ranked him second. A lot of people are wondering if that is, disrespecting Wasian. But just looking at Replay's consistency, man, it's pretty impressive, I would say. I actually haven't heard. So me1stor8th said that he watches Replay to learn, but I'm kind of curious, Spencer, because where do you feel like people like Replay? Do you feel like he's underrated or properly rated, and relative to NA?
I think he's overrated because at least like when I watch his gameplay back like a couple sets ago, or like his Saturday gameplay, it didn't look too good. But,
okay.
I don't know. I haven't watched his 20 games too much. But the ones I've watched, it just seems I don't know. It's just like normal gameplay. I don't know.
Oh, we watched all his games from one of the days. Me and Spencer and a couple other people.
So what do you think is the secret to his consistency?
I think in some of those games, he's hard, like Giga hard force like a real line, which I didn't really agree with. Like he opted into like a 3-way contested Veigar game.
Oh yeah, that was like, a really weird one.
And that was like the egregious game that
he won that game.
Yeah, because like the other two somewhat just pivoted, even though he had the best spot to pivot out of. Like he was like level 8, like he could have been level 8 with like at least like 70 gold.
I see.
Like, he just stuck with Veigar and almost won like 8 because like he 3-way contested.
Yeah, Milk was doing the same thing actually, like where they would just like straight up hard force into a contested line, and they just won't pivot. And I think like Milk had several games where he should straight up be like dead 8th, but then like he would hit like with literally 1 HP left. Yeah. And it's not like you know how like some players is like, oh, they hit with 1 HP left and like they might have like calculated it properly. I'm pretty sure he was not calculating nothing, man. Yeah. Noron 7. Veigar 3, Vex 3, 6 HP. Yeah, it's a win.
Yeah, both games he had Noron 7 and he was yeah.
Interesting. I mean, there's 2 people from that group here, Spencer and Milk, and there's Ripple and Replay, so it's fascinating. Yeah, PMD Bobster holding down strong for the PMD clan. Either way, I do think it's worth noting that the results kind of keep stacking onto themselves. Replay another final lobby, and that's something that he cares a lot about. So that's something that he aims for. I do find it funny that whenever he makes final lobby, he tends to go like dead last somehow. But that's just that's a story for another day. Top 16, we mentioned Fritz Wasian, Little Top, Casper, Dank Meme, Setsuko, Whale of Peace, Robin Songs, another top 16 for Setsuko. But that wasn't just the only thing. I don't have the results for it, but kind of an interesting storyline is that Setsuko actually got day 1 and then missed out, and yet he got tiebreakers in because Deepay and Shuckhacks dropped out, which actually, and so Setsuko actually got in, advanced to day 3, and popped off and almost like made top 16, almost a top 8 run. But we also had a lot of upsets in general. We had Ramblin', Relic, T-Lights, Phillip, Toronto, Sox, Michael, Altanahue. I wrote Showtime because he hyped him up so much. I don't know if some people consider that an upset. First rate, are there any names that I've mentioned that surprised you in day 1? Do you feel like some of these players that I mentioned, does it make sense? Does it sound right because it's inevitable, or do you feel like there were some people that you were expecting to go farther?
I feel like it's like it's not surprising because of mana. Like sometimes you just load in with the lose streak opener, and then you don't have any reroll line available, and you have to play the lose streak into 4-2 level 8 lottery, and normally just go win 7 A's with it. So it's kind of not surprising that someone didn't make it. If they keep getting that opener, it's probably normal to happen. Yeah,
and I think that maybe that's why, going back to what Guubums was saying, that's why people are opting into reroll lines, because they just know that if they try to do something besides that, they might just be going bot 4 anyways. I guess they might as well roll the dice. That was you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Day 1, I just rerolled, went 1-1-1-1-1. Day 2, I rerolled, I went 8-8-8-8-8-8-8. And I was like, okay, well, I don't think I'm doing anything different, to be honest.
And you actually didn't go dead last somehow. Clear ended up going dead last, putting 10 points on the board in 6 games. Asa, Cambuli, Tech Summers, Toji, Spicy Yappies, Bossos, Kurum, Guubums, and Clear. That was the list for day number 2. So you feel like you just low roll Guubums? You don't think anything you played poorly or anything like day 2?
Like I said, so after 4 games, I had 12 points, I think, right?
Yeah.
I think I could, like, literally just purely based on play, like, I could have played better, and I would have gotten 4 extra points. Up to 4 extra points, so that puts me at 16. And then the last 2 games, like, if you're at 12, you know you're boned, so, like, you don't really, like, play that seriously. Like, okay, I can go 1-1, but, like, pretty early on into, like, the 5th game, you know if you're going 1 or not, right? So then, okay, whatever, I wasn't going 1, so I was like, okay, if I'm not gonna go 1, like, I'm not making it, right? So
sure,
okay, 8-8. So yeah, I think like I could have been in a better spot, but like I know like some of those games, like I'm like pretty confident with like how I played, and I don't know if I could have. Like, I think there was like placements to be gained because I misplayed, but at the same time, like that doesn't guarantee that you actually like end up doing well in a tournament, right? Even like if you would get more points, yeah.
I had the stats pulled up of what happened this past weekend. I see a lot of things averaging at like a 4.7 to 9, even like a 5.
Is this NA specific or is it?
This is all of Americas.
Okay.
Over the weekend.
Yeah, sorry, Americas. Yeah.
So this is all of Americas. I'm looking at how like Hui was played 34 times and averaged like a straight 5. Same thing with Varus. Same thing with Karma. But interestingly enough, I feel like Callisto was a composition that was played a lot, and it might look like it was slightly underplayed despite how popular it was, because it was still doing very, very well.
Yeah, it was doing really well in EU as well, so it's like definitely something, probably like slightly underplayed. I mean, it's played it was the most played thing in EU, and it's tied for like the second most played here. So it's hard to say it's underplayed when it has like so much representation, but maybe even still it was like slightly underplayed. Hard to say.
Yeah. First rate, do you see any interesting stats or things you want to call out from the sheet that you see?
Oh, I don't feel like Kalista is underplayed. I feel like Kalista is more available, like with a good opening. I feel like if people load in with a better opener, they're more willing to load in. They're more willing to play Rise instead of Kalista. I feel like there might be a reason like Kalista have like lower games and higher average, and people just first rate with Rise and then just keep going 8th.
Well, Callisto actually had a really high 8th rate.
Yeah, 13.8%. But yeah. I mean, so did Veigar. Veigar had the highest 8th percentage. Yeah. Hui has a higher one.
This Veigar thing actually tilts me because like, okay, so before like the patch, like that the tournament was playing on, I believe it's a B patch. We were talking about like pretty much I think Riot thought Veigar was like super, super weak. So I'm pretty sure like someone like pretty much posited the idea that like Veigar, if you nerf like all the S tiers of what was then like the A patch, then Veigar will be probably really strong. Because Veigar is stronger than a standard, like pretty much Veigar on parity with 3 stars is significantly stronger than a 4-cost board. But then pretty much we got a ton of pushback on that when it was like, I don't think anyone was saying Veigar was broken or even would be broken, but just thought like Veigar would be comparable in strength to like some of the 4-cost comps, which at the time 4-cost comps were doing pretty poorly, right? So I don't think it's a wild statement. But yeah, we got a lot of pushback on that, so I was a little bit tilted. Because like everyone I saw do really well in the tournament. Like I told you, we watched Milk and Replay, right? I'm not even kidding. They would just hard force Veigar.
Yeah.
And it's like, if the comp is that good, I feel like it's a little bit tilting to get like some pushback on like, we weren't even saying it was going to be broken, right? I don't know.
Well, they did nerf it. They did nerf it.
Oh yeah, now I think the comp is not the best. But yeah.
I mean, the comp now is like before, if you were at least like uncontested, it was still fine. Or like before, it felt like there was a way for you to always win out and scale, and like even if you had 1 life, you know you had a chance. Now it's like I'm not entirely sure. Sometimes you can snowball into that win, but I do feel like the comp is significantly worse.
Oh, I think on average, like
much lower for sure.
yeah, I don't think you should be winning any single game with Veigar unless you're like on a mega.
Oh, have you seen some of the hero augment versions of it where they snowball like crazy?
Oh, like yeah,
like Zap Attack.
Is that yeah, you get Blitzcrank. Okay, someone itemized a Ziggs 3. And
I saw you playing against that. That was funny.
And he had like TG Ziggs or something like that, which was not great. But one fight, it rolled blue buff Guardbreaker, and it just completely shit on me. So I don't know. It was there's might be something to it if you get if you somehow get the 5 Honey Mancy be as friends or whatever. Like maybe it just goes Super Saiyan. I'm not sure.
Oh, I've been seeing some 5 Honey lines. It definitely seems okay. I mean, I think this patch is actually pretty solid, but I'm pretty sure right now, if you're playing for Veigar, one, you should probably do it less, but also, like, if you're playing it from Hero Augment, that probably just means you're bad at capping your board. Because there's no way, like, say I roll on 5, hit my Blitzcrank, or, like, even 4, right? Hit my Blitzcrank 3, then I'm going to go to 7 and just start slow rolling. Like, wouldn't you just much rather go... I literally played a Zap Attack. I think Spencer was watching. I played a Zap Attack game. You just go 9. You just play all the broken 5. They just bust every single 5 cost. Dude, the 5 cost feels so good.
What about what about like those Mage Crown starts?
Oh no, Mage Crown is like that's like the only time you should be playing Veigar, I think.
Okay.
Pretty much. Oh, bar like I don't know, there's a couple other niche spots, but like I like personally that like the reroll to me feels like okay, I have a spot to play this reroll, I'll play the reroll. Instead of I have no items, no units, I'm already hard force.
Yeah. Like those metas are so degen. When you have no copies, like some auto items, they just still hard force it, and it's just still like top 2. It's
interesting. Yeah. So these days, Spencer, I'm not sure exactly how to categorize you. Before, I think I used to say that you were a lose streak player, but nowadays I'm not entirely sure. How would you define your play style or the way you think you play?
I just play everything. I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I just play literally everything. I think Guubums can verify. I legit play lose streak, win streak, and like I just play everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Guubums, who would you say is the most like Spencer? Another player that's like Spencer, playstyle wise, or approach to the game, the way they view things.
Honestly, doesn't Spencer just play like most people now? I feel like he does like a pretty standard. Like I feel like I play like in a lot of ways like I'll play similarly, or like in a lot of ways like Sox might play something. I don't know. I'm just literally throwing out names at this point.
I
think like Spencer's like pretty standard.
But I'm more open with like loose streaking, like open forwarding.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's like slightly skewed towards open forward compared to your average like if you compare to like Setsuko or Dishub, like they really like win streaking a lot. But I think like for the most part, Spencer's just like fairly standard. Okay. If he has a board, he'll play a board. If he doesn't have a board, he'll alt into lose streak. Yeah. Very open to playing reroll, very open to playing fast state, pretty standard stuff. Yeah.
Okay. And then first or eighth, how would you define your play style these days?
I probably lean toward lose streak. Like sometimes I level up at 2-1 and I just do this 2-2 and I scout a little bit and I realize my board sucks. I just sell my unit and make interest.
I feel that. It's been happening to me a lot lately, actually. But I know I think it's interesting because I think you touched upon a subject, which is that TFT's become a lot more optimized. Before you could like sort of stick to your guns and kind of bring a specific type of thing to the table, but these days you have to be ready to reroll a hero augment if you get dropped into a spot for it. You have to be ready to fast 8 into like a specific line, or like if you have fortune or what doesn't kill you. You have to be ready to like also win streak and push levels and giga level if you get something that's like calling for it. And I think if you don't, you're just kind of like, you just have holes in your gameplay. It's not about like your style anymore. It's like I feel like you need to be able to do all kinds of different things. Do you think that's fair to say, Guubums?
Yeah, I think so. And like, just because you touched on hero augments, obviously like the power of them is like slightly off right now, but like, I think TFT in general has just like trended towards more like the most important thing on 2-1 is just direction.
Yeah, since augments, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like it's been like that since augments. Like you're gonna have to be more open.
It's for sure been like that since augments. I want to think that like, I think it's like gotten worse, especially as they buff like worse bad augments and like they keep nerfing the good augments, stuff like that. So it's gotten like even more pronounced. But yeah, I think like these hero augments, because of like how much direction they give you and how strong they are, like pretty much because they give so much direction, they shouldn't be quite as strong as they are. And same idea is like with vertical trades. Like Portal +1 is so broken, not just because like Portal is a great comp or like Portal's a good early game, Portal's a good mid game, but it's also because you're playing Portal from 2-1 all the way until 7-1, and you'll never change. Like nothing will come off your board, right?
Yeah.
And that, I think that's kind of like the issue with like hero augments and these like some of the like more super verticals like Portal and maybe Witch or something. I mean, Witch is not nearly as strong as Portal opener, but like Frost, right? Like you pick Frost Emblem, you playing 3 Frost, then 5 Frost, then 7 Frost, and 9 Frost if you're lucky enough to get it. You pick Portal, you're playing 3 Portal, you're playing 6 Portal, you're playing 8 Portal, and 10 Portal if you're lucky enough to get it. So I think like there needs to be a balance between like how easy it is and just like how strong it is.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, augments are definitely part of it. I also do think it's like how the game has been optimized. And I think that's also how a lot of people prefer to actually play TFT that isn't at a high level. I feel like a lot of casual / semi-engaged players would prefer direction. But I mean, that's probably like a different discussion entirely, because I feel like that's going into the design of TFT. But the reality is, if you can commit at 2-1, you'll likely make fewer mistakes based off your line, and therefore you can make streamlined decisions. I think that's ultimately what's pushing a lot of people. And I think that's why people just hard commit and deafen. No, nothing you really disagree there. Anything else you want to bring about the meta before? I mean, we don't have to. This is an old patch, so we can just kind of move past it. But
about the tournament meta?
If you either things that you noticed, or anything that you were surprised by, but we can also just move on.
Oh, I think I noticed I feel like people opted into reroll lines way more than they should have, instead of like, I don't know, just playing a board. Because I think during the 20, I just like win streak with like, my board wasn't shit, but like it wasn't like insane to 5-1 streak, but I just like win streaked a lot more than I should have.
Because everyone's just holding
so I just
pairs and trying to lose streak.
Yeah, so I was able to just like fast save for free and just play from a faceland.
Yeah, and also I would like to point out for some of these stats is that like, because Fortune, Flexible, Golden Quest, and Trade Tracker, I mean, and maybe you don't want to put Trade Tracker in the same pool, but like, because like some of these augments are not obviously like taken into account with some of these comps. It's like, for example, Callista's doing really, really well, but how much of that is because everyone who played Fortune happened to be in Callista, or like everyone who played Golden Quest happened to be like some sort, like obviously these are like really easy to play like modular boards that you could always play with like any Fortune, any Fortune like thingy. So it's like, yeah, maybe some of the stats of these are good, but like because you don't know the stats of like some of these things that help enable some of these comps, then it's like hard to like,
sure, that makes sense.
As a player, yeah, it's hard to
food for thought.
Take it in. Yeah.
We'll see. They did nerf some of those augments. We'll see if that ends up changing anything.
Quest?
Well, they nerfed. They nerfed Flexible, but yeah, you're not wrong. They technically they did change Golden Quest. Some people are now saying that it's mainly a buff because there's no like low rolls anymore, and they also buffed a bunch of the 5 costs. These are the region stats. Just want to say that I feel like LATAM gets a little bit of hate, but they actually did pretty well. This is just day 1, though. I think obviously as the rest of the days went on, it wasn't exactly the case. But overall, really a lot more parity, but there's also a lot more distribution of slots that went towards NA. So somewhat fake in the sense that you're going to see NA's AVP generally lower, and you're going to see some of the best players from those other regions just do well. So it's entirely possible that somewhere along the line, NA ends up becoming like the 2nd or 3rd highest AVP region in these because of the distribution.
I think it's highly unlikely for that to be the case, to be honest. But like, yeah, I think like even here, it's like NA is like roughly the best. Obviously only slightly worse than LA. I do think there's like slightly something wrong with the stats. Just I think it's the same.
Yeah. The numbers don't add up exactly, but it's just food for thought.
But yeah, I think like Milk is one to mention this a lot, but like as you progress through a tournament, you're likely to just have like NA v NA. Both given because of like the number of slots we have, but also like if we're perceived as a stronger region, then you're more likely to have more people advance, and then once you have more people advance, if you're in a lobby with 6 other NA, then you're just gonna have like roughly a 4.5 AVP, right? That just makes sense. And then I think so most of the time I think you're still gonna see NA at the top of these. And if it's not, then either the other region had like a really standout day or something like that, or I don't know, like it's pretty much more of an anomaly just because of like how it's structured, not generally just because like NA is like better or whatever.
Okay, we heard a lot from people like Guubums. First Wraith, what do you think about the region merge? It's actually interesting because we only hear from like the top players a lot about how it affects them, but you're a player that's, you know, kind of getting into competing. Sometimes you take sets off because you're burnt out. So you're kind of like, you know, half committed. Does the merge and the new format, does it feel okay to you, or do you also not like it?
It definitely feels worse for the player, like middle of pack player like me. For example, back in set 9, I just need to play day 1, day 2, and I can go into final week. But starting at set 11, like set 11 was worse. Like you have to play 3-day trials into 3-day cup, so I quit the set after the first trial. I made it to the cup, but I don't want to play 3 more days, so I just quit the set. And then this set, they reduced the trial to 2 days, which is better, but still it's like 5 days instead of 4 days.
Okay, so they still need to cut down Tactician's Cup. So do we want Tactician's Cup to be 2 days now, Spencer? We want Tac Cup to be 2 days?
Probably, honestly.
Well, I feel like it's so long. Like it's like almost like 7 hours each day. I feel like, or like 6 hours or something. Yeah.
If it was 3 days, but like 5 hours each, would that be okay?
Probably. I'm more fun with that.
Well,
I'm not sure.
okay, my question is, would you be willing to take like a variance? Like, would you be willing to
higher
sacrifice
variance format?
Yeah, higher variance format, but obviously less time spent like sitting around, I guess.
Mm.
Or do you care more about like, because you're a competitive player, obviously, but
I'm fine with more games, but I don't know. I like it for it to be like less time.
Okay.
And I have a question for me1stor8th. Okay, because like right now, I think last I checked your profile, you were like 13 or something like that, but you said you went like minus 200 today. So like as someone who's like pretty like, well, I want to say really high LP, do you think like because they moved the slots down from auto qualified for the buy for the cup from like 32 or something like that to like 23? Like as someone kind of like on the bubble, like I'm also frequently on the bubble, by the way, but like as someone like kind of like on the bubble of that like range, do you find that like having that lowered actually impacts like how much you play ladder, or like how much like how serious you put into ladder play?
I mean, I was never even close to the bubbles. I was always like 300 or 400 LP behind, like under the bubble. So I was always playing to play trial or day 1, day 2. So I have no idea. But I cannot even make the step shot.
Well, you can now.
No, I didn't even make step shot for Cup 1. Like all the good players went to EWC, and I still somehow managed to didn't make it. And so.
That's okay. That's okay. I mean, you still grind through trials, and you went through cups, so now you get back to the next cup. You don't have to grind.
No, he's just straight up qualified for regionals. He doesn't have to play a single cup if he doesn't.
Oh yeah, that's true. You're just straight up qualified for regionals. But he said you're gonna play in the next cup though, yeah?
Yeah, I probably should for more qualified point.
Yeah, and just thing in general, like practice in general. You can still make the free world slot, so it's definitely worth it.
Yeah. But plus, you never know. You might spike another tournament and win more money. You might make $100 in 40 hours, as we're about to probably get to later on in a little bit. Before we get to that, I got a chance to talk to some other players about their tournament runs. So usually as you guys go, one of the special things about reviewed episodes is that I usually ask players to tell me about their tournaments. Ripple Overdrive, go by William, says, I think the meta this weekend was pretty big on finding your correct line since reroll tempo was high and playing any of the reroll comps contested was not very good. I think I did that decently, but was not the best at finding ways to go first in games since it's really easy to get in the habit of rolling for charms units to secure fights and placement, late stage 4 and early stage 5, instead of sacking to push level. So I lost placements, definitely add up to each game, and made it hard to win the tournament in the end. That's interesting. I didn't really think about that. Usually people are talking about how you should be rolling for those charms, and Ripple was talking about how you sometimes shouldn't be rolling for those charms, which I thought was an interesting take. I talked to Milk. I said, Milk, can you give me a couple of sentences about your tournament run? Milk says, you want me to form couple sentences. I can't. You have better chance at getting your newborn to form a few lines. Weird champ. Classic Milk. I have Tex. This is the Brazilian player who got second. I asked him. He said, hey, Frodan, thank you. It means a lot to me. My main goal is Worlds, and always will be. I've had some almost there moments, placing 4th, 5th, and 8th at Brazil regionals before the merge, and that's actually true. He's actually done very well at locally at Brazilian Pro Legends. So placing second goes directly to my goal, and I'll keep it going this way. Glad all my efforts have paid off. Sorry for any grammar errors. Thanks for the opportunity.
Oh, this guy's so sweet.
Don't worry, Tex. If you compare your statement side by side to Milk, I think your grammar is A-okay. I have a statement from Bobster. Bobster says, I think I played very well and in form, except for one game on the final day where I tanked an 8th, finding an uncontested reroll line or 8th patch. Not really too much more to add on top of that. This is a statement from Wajan Iverson. Wajan Iverson said, happy with how the tournament went, especially since I had to play through day 1 because of EWC. I made a few mistakes on the final day in hard spots. I could have made final lobby for sure. But overall, I think I played well, and I won't be trying for ladder snapshots this set. I'll be prepping hard for cups and trying my best to get the guaranteed world slot. Interesting. So Wajan is just basically giving up on snapshots and says, yeah, I'm going to try to get the qualifier point slot.
Yo, everyone's going for snapshots this set.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not surprised yet.
No dish soap. I mean, Setsuko's still going to take one, but no dish soap helps.
I mean, Soju said he's going to be trying to go for that as well, but we'll talk about that in a sec. But I thought that's interesting. Wajan's like, yeah, I'm not going to try for snapshots. Lastly, we got the big kahuna, Lil Top. I asked him, hey, a couple sentences on your tournament. He sent me an entire essay. Lil Top says, hey, Fodan, sure thing. Here's my reflection. I thought I did pretty well considering how bad I was doing on the week leading up to the cup. I feel like I scale really well throughout tournaments. I don't really scrim or in-house with other pro players, so I learn a lot about other players' priorities and see how I can improve my own playstyle throughout the tournament. One example is that I was able to streak stage 2 most of my games. I know a lot of players were prioritizing first Chaos IM or 3-2 roll down, and I was able to expose that if I had proper opener 5 streak. There weren't too many surprises about the meta IMO, multiple real lines, Rise, Callista, +1 emblem, etc. It felt like a lot of lives came down to which player had a better uncontested spot for reroll. Can I 5 streak the whole stage 2 and tempo into the right line and play for 4 across, or did I hit a niche augment or artifact that enabled the player to play a niche line? Personally, I was able to play 6 Blaster Diana and upgraded Adventure Namzi reroll on the last day. I did feel like I threw away a lot of my placements on the final day that stopped me from getting to the final lobby, but I'm content with 11th overall. 2 players' results that surprised me were Prestivant and Bobster. I thought Preston was going to make final lobby based on his day 2 performance. I played all 6 games with him and felt like he had solid line recognition and was able to cap out very high. I imagine he got pretty unlucky on day 3. For Bobster, I was happy he was able to make final lobby and felt like he was knowledgeable on a lot of the meta lines and recognizing his best spot. I was able to bot review with him, and he helped me a lot of recognizing different outs and managing resources. Not sure if this is too long, but I can trim it if needed. Haha. Thanks for reaching out, as always.
I'll be honest, I don't think I like heard a thing you said. That shit was too long.
No worries. Little Top, he's very enthusiastic about chatting about TFT, so
this guy's just a high energy guy.
He's a very happy guy. One thing we like to do is reflect on our power rankings and see how many we got correct out of the top 15. We stretched it to be the top 24 since there's other regions. And we got 9 out of 15. It was pretty good for us, actually. 9 out of 15, given how big the field can be, is pretty good. Setsuko, Wajan, replay. Soju barely missed, as you guys know. Soju did not have a good day 3. But
Soju
Milk, Spencer, Preston, and Bruce. And if Asa made it and Soju made it, that would have been 8 out of all 10 out of 10, which is pretty good for us. And then Ripple being the only player out of that 11 through 15 range, because we lost a lot of bodies along the way. Best Ballot Award. Oh man, this is fun. Do you guys want to take a guess who had the best ballot? Guubums, who do you think?
Dude, I don't even know who fills the ballot. I don't even know who fills the ballots anymore.
Just take a wild guess.
Fuck it, me. I mean, it's not me. It's not me.
It's not you. It's not you. It was Showtime. Showtime had the best power rankings because he actually predicted Degree to do very well. And so he had 10 out of 15. The red is people got eliminated in day 1. The yellow is day 2. And blue is the people that got eliminated day 3. So Showtime had the best ballot. There were some other people that were in contention, but...
Yeah, I mean, Showtime could have had an even better ballot if he just didn't put himself.
Yeah, if he... Oh, poor guy. Poor Showtime. Okay, well at least he won something because fantasy did not really go his way as well. But we'll do we have that?
Yeah, he bought himself.
Yeah, we can go ahead and show fantasy results. Why not? Fantasy results: Gangly cleared all of us 502 points, and we agreed to drop our worst performing player. So Gangly's worst performing player made it to day 3 and posted 80 points on the weekend. Meanwhile, I had DPay who left for a boat, who quit mid tournament. So, but Spencer, thank you for carrying my fantasy team this time around.
No problem.
Yeah. Most importantly, though, Basso skills dead last. Me and Showtime kind of fought for second and third. It was pretty close, but yeah, Basso skills did not know. But at least he outplayed Showtime, as you guys see in the bottom kicker. Okay, what we like to do, one fun thing for each segment with our guests, which is we ask them for their top 15. So who wants to go first, Spencer or first or eighth?
I guess I'll go first.
Okay, we got Spencer's top 15. I'm going to go ahead and read it, and then we'll introduce them one by one. So, Spencer's top 15. 1, Setsuko. 2, Milk. 3, Spencer. He wrote me. I'm assuming he meant himself. Dish Soap. Kiyun, Wajan Iverson. Then 7 is Soju. The back half,
Kiyun.
Guubums at 8. Precedent at 9. Replay at 10. Greya, me1stor8th, who he put in the top 12 there. Bruce, Lol, Phillip, and Darth Noob. All right, so an interesting top 15. So we always like to ask this question. Where is the first gap, Spencer, between like a certain 2 numbers?
Probably like Wajan and Soju, I think. Like there's a small gap there.
Interesting. Oh, there's a second gap. Okay. I mean, some people say there's no second gap, but where's the second gap?
I think like from, I guess like right now, like I guess from replaying Greya, there's like a gap there. Yeah.
Yeah, but are you saying our guest here is bad? What's going on?
He put him on the list. I think that's it. I don't even think. I mean, I don't want to spoil it, but I don't think me1stor8th put himself on the list. So I think that's pretty nice.
I'm gonna be honest. Like number 12 and 215, I was kind of lost on.
Yeah, he just went on the ladder. Right?
I literally just left on the ladder. Bruce Lowell, or yeah, I mean, put me1stor8th because he won the tourney. And then from Bruce Lowell to Dartham, I just literally just did it based off ladder. I was lost.
Well, okay, hold on. Can you explain to me Kiyun above?
Okay, I think Kiyun is actually like giga good when he actually like plays the game. And right now he's like playing for snapshots, so like he's actually like good. So like he has to play for snapshots because like he got bombed out, or he got like day -1 or something or 2. So he has to play for snapshots. So he's actually like putting in the effort to actually like get good.
Interesting.
Yeah. I only put him above Wajan just because I feel like Wajan hasn't really been playing this set too much, or like maybe he's burned out from EWC. Like normally I probably put him like 3rd or 4th, but I think he just hasn't really been like, I don't know. Putting
I have a question. I noticed I'm below Soju.
I mean, I think Soju's not bad. It can't be that bad.
I mean, you're 8th. I mean, it makes sense, Goobum. Odd brand.
I feel like Soju should be 8th.
I mean, either way, you guys are 7-8. me1stor8th, do you see yourself here in top 15? What do you think?
I mean, he probably put me there because I win the tournament, but I'm pretty sure I'm not better than I'm not top 15 today.
Where do you think you are? Well, we're revealing your list in a second here, but where do you think you are?
Like
your best.
Around 20th to 30th, probably. I have a lot of great player.
Dude, this guy's too humble, man.
He's very
Can you just start
humble.
flaming someone, man?
Oh, I mean, he doesn't have to, man. We already have you and Spencer doing plenty of that.
Nah, just flaming someone. Fuck it. Who are we flaming?
Okay. I mean, Dish Soap 4th. Is that because he's just not playing much of the set?
Yeah, I probably normally I probably put Dish Soap like second here, but like he hasn't really been playing much. Like he's probably like burnt out as well, and I mean he's already qualified to World, so he doesn't really have to like try as hard.
Okay,
but I think he's still pretty good even when he's not trying.
What do you think stops Precedent from joining this top tier with Kiyun? I think most people would reverse Kiyun and Precedent.
Just like I don't know, more ladder results or like tournament results. I think. I mean, he just hasn't really had that. I think.
Why do you think that is?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I haven't really watched the gameplay too much because he doesn't
Yeah,
really.
this guy's unwilling to stream to us.
He isn't willing to stream to us.
Well, he streams all the time. You can just watch his stream.
Like his
different.
tournament. Yeah, I mean that's different.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because playing on stream, you're not playing.
They're like
stream.
straight up for fun.
Yeah. Streaming, dude. There's so much pressure because there's so many for fun augments now. There's like so many things that people are just like.
Yeah, they just
pressure you to
tempt you, man.
Yeah, streaming is actually a grief these days because it's like, oh my god, it's anger.
Especially with
issues.
charms, I feel like.
Yeah. Oh yeah, uncastable emblem. You're like, okay,
charm
fine.
after every turn or something.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It just looks like placements.
It's like, oh, you should take a hard commit here at 2-1 because it could be anything. Actually, first rate, do you feel like you play the same on stream, or do you also for fun and on stream?
I did for fun a little bit on the stream, but I feel like a lot of options, like they're meant to be for fun options, but their stats are actually good. For example, like angry issue for Ash, and I don't know, hard commit seems pretty good on average, but I took it in tourney, I got bashed, I just went 8th.
Yeah. Well, it's better this
commit's actually
match, but
broken.
yeah, for sure. Okay, I will say, if you guys want one tech, I'm pretty sure this Heckman reroll guy is actually not even bad. But
Oh no, it's completely.
Yeah, he's like one of the high statted 3 costs, but like the problem is with Heckram is like literally every comp is running.
he's playing
Heckram.
Heckman. Yeah, you can't 3-star him. It's
yeah.
the what was it that last set that was like the same thing instead of 11?
I was like set and set 10, but I don't know about 11.
Lowy probably.
Oh yeah,
Lowy,
Lowy. Oh,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
but I mean, people still
Oh,
go for Lowy. But yeah, you're right. Lowy was
always impossible. Yeah. Oh, we tried to actually bait Spencer to playing Heckram, and he just wouldn't play. Dude, he played the worst game imaginable instead. It was actually illegal.
Yeah. No.
Is it possible to hit back?
Oh, it was. I think it was Diana because she was like a 3-cost Dragon Lord that was playing everything. So
Yeah.
Oh,
the stage, like you couldn't 3-star her ever. So even they buffed 3-star Diana like a lot, but you just could never get 3-star Diana anyways.
There's a lot of 2 costs often like that
Yeah.
as well. Nobody's really
Nico,
ruling Aatrox.
Nico, Aatrox, Riven. Anyways,
yeah, Rivens.
That's the problem. That's the problem with Hecarim. But I'm just telling you, man, you get 8. Because there's always people like, there's no comp you can play with anger issues. I'm like, bro, just trust me on this one. If you're able to get it, it's actually hilarious. I had a game where I played Spectral Cutlass Hecarim 3, and it was the funniest comp ever because everyone because Spectral Cutlass actually TPs like Smolder doesn't cover it. And so this guy kept trying to use Smolder to like position and block it, but it would always TP exactly where Smolder was because that's not where he actually is. And then I would like one-shot their backline every time. This was funny. Anyways, that's a completely side topic. Let's go ahead and show me1stor8th top 15. Thank you so much, Spencer. So me1stor8th top 15. Number 1, Setsuko. Number 2, Weijin Iverson. 3, Milk. Spencer in 4th. Soju at 5. Replay at 6. And Bruce Lull at 7. And then we have Elides at 8, Ripple, and Precedent around the top 10. Robin, Guubums, Cambuly, Toronto, Tokyo, and Kurimek. So it's like half this list is different, which is really fascinating. So, first question, me1stor8th, where do you perceive the first gap to be? Top 15.
That's probably between Spencer and Soju. I didn't put Digital in because I thought he's not playing for
That's fair.
the
Yeah.
tournament, so yeah, I didn't put him in.
That's fair. Okay, so a lot of is Soju the best player in tier 2? Is that what's going on here?
What?
Okay, I put Soju and Replay there because I watch all of their gameplay, and I probably didn't watch that much POV from other players, so I didn't know how they did.
Well, my previous comment Guubums was because Spencer also gapped Weijin to Soju, so I was like, everyone keeps putting Soju the top player in tier 2.
I mean, I feel like right now currently, like all the other, I mean, like a lot of other good players are just AFK this set as well. So like, I can't really like normally I probably would put like Socks or like Pocky here, but like I don't know, they're just AFK the set. So
yeah, I mean that's fine. That's totally fair. So you're saying those players would take those spots over Soju?
Yeah.
So Soju just being around and being consistent is like helping.
Yo, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, Okay, so you're telling me Soju's as high as he is by default because no one else is around, and then you're telling me 2 people rank Soju above. Yeah, all right, okay, just don't rank me next time. Yeah, all right.
Wait, yeah, you're 12th on this list. Can you tell me about Guubums at 12th, SpencerTFT?
Oh, because I didn't watch a lot of his gameplay, but I did watch his YouTube video about Arcana Rise before I played the tournament, so I just put him there.
Oh, I
bet.
see. Yeah, actually, Guubums has a pretty good YouTube channel. He's actually trying to. I sometimes steal some of his info and I just repackage it and do a video on it. So it's good stuff. Thanks ahead of time. Ripple, Precedent, Robin in 11th. I feel like a lot of people underrate Robin right now. You're one of the few people who actually still ranks Robin, like even in this zone. I feel like Robin's not even taking competitive that seriously anymore, given how often he travels. So I think that's an interesting conclusion. Do you think very highly of Robin?
I just ranked this based on my impression from before in previous set. So
Oh, okay.
So
it's like a you have a little bit of history coming into this as well.
yeah.
Okay. That probably explains like Kurum and even if they're not necessarily putting up the results. Got it. Interesting. Who would you put 16? Like Spencer struggled to put 13 to 15. Did you struggle to put any, like, you had to decide to cut anybody?
Probably Asa. I learned a lot of secret tech from his Twitter and stream before, but I didn't watch him that much this set. So.
I see. Asa. Is Asa playing seriously, Guubums? I think he is, right? He's kind of has
I think he's AFK as
got
well.
tilted.
Yeah.
He got tilted. He was playing seriously, but okay, I think like Asa suffers from burnout. I mean, as most people do, but I think like Asa specifically suffers like pretty hard from burnout.
Like he's more susceptible to it.
Yeah,
Okay.
just from what and like I think more than other players, Asa kind of like lets like ladder play kind of get to him. Mentally.
Interesting. I feel like he's a player that I would be one of the he would be one of the last people I would guess on paper because of his poker experience.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I don't know, but yeah, I think he definitely lets like ladder play or ladder results like affect him more mentally.
Got it.
And obviously, because like between what he has to do for like TFT coaching, shadow TFT coaching, but between that and just like having to play competitively and all that, like it definitely takes a little bit of a mental toll. And then between like socks, AFKing. So like Ace says this all the time, but like, Ace is like, yeah, I'm not even good. I just wait for socks to give me all the tech. And yeah, we don't have socks anymore. Yeah, it's fucking doomed.
I mean, it can't be doomed. Spencer went 3rd and Milk went 5th. You got your group still lives on.
Dude, okay, no, Milk doesn't even count, man.
Milk doesn't contribute at all.
Okay, but Spencer, you apparently don't contribute either. You just sit there and call and watch VODs on mute. Or watch games on mute.
No, I don't mute. I just like give my thoughts here and there. Okay. I just like watch their games and then I don't know.
I see. Okay. Fair enough. Let's move on to agree. The last major segment here before we close out the show. This is an interesting agree. Not really. It's just more that Soju tweeted out something. This didn't really necessarily make the news part of the show because I felt like something we wanted to harp on or elaborate upon. Which was Soju said he won't be competing in future Cubs unless the format changes. I'll qualify to regional through ladder snapshot, which is why he's every day. His stream seems to be popping off with his results. He's been getting burnt out and upset every time I show up. It's just not worth it. GG. And I'm curious if that's how you guys feel as well. So the agree would be whether or not your sentiment is similar to Soju right now. So I'll start off with me first, Ray. Yeah, do you feel the same way?
Yeah, it's an easy agree. That's the reason I quit after the first tournament every set. Like just sitting, like if you went 8th in the game before reseeding, you just sitting there waiting for 1 hour and then with the set in motion, you don't know what to do and you want to quit the set already. It's an easy agree for me.
Yeah, I mean we have a poll in chat right now. I guess like, do you guys feel burnt out from the viewing experience? I'm not sure how many of you guys are actually competing in it, but I wonder if you guys feel the same. Spencer, how do you feel?
Yeah, I kind of agree. Like the tournaments are so long. Yeah, I don't know. The tournaments are just very long. It's just like kind of not worth
it. It just takes. Okay, so would you be okay with playing fewer games? What about China, for example, plays 5 games a day in their groups. They don't actually play 6. If they ever play 6+, it's because they're playing checkmate.
I mean, I think I don't know. I'm fine with the format. I just like I feel like there should be like more of a prize pool for how long it is. Because like right now it's like you have to commit at least like 7 hours per day for each for each day. And that's I don't know, that's just so long and usually not very high EV. Because like doing monthly 20 is like kind of hard. Because it's like there's like variants and stuff.
Okay. Guubums.
I mean, I think this is pretty easy to agree. As for like the solution, I don't know what it is, but honestly, this said, like I might even fucking call it in on the tournaments. Like the tournaments are a lot of hassle. And honestly, like if I don't play the tournaments, maybe I'll just like come mess around on the co-stream. I think that's pretty.
You
fun.
want to come back for the co-stream? I mean, it was actually really fun to have you, man. I don't know, it was great. You should come back.
Wait, do you mean IRL or
Sure.
Or,
I mean, bro, you're not making regionals. Let's make that. If you're just gonna quit the tournament.
No, hold on.
You said you want to do regionals. You got to do worlds last time, and you said you want to do regionals. If you want to be back for regionals, like maybe we could make that happen.
Oh, okay. Honestly, I just went for the cups, but also, I mean, that's chill too. I'm down.
Oh, I see. I mean, look, if you're gonna be joining for the cups, you're probably gonna be joining for regionals as well.
No, because what I'll say is like, why don't like I'm pretty sure I can even still go for snapshots. I had to draw my first week, but like I'm like rank 5 right now or some whatever. Like whatever I am, I don't know. Like pretty much whenever I play for real, like I actually climb.
You climb.
But and also, like I don't like unlike a lot of players, I feel like when I'm like if I get top 10 or whatever, like whatever rank, like I'll actually just not play, which is like sitting is like.
Sitting is harder than it sounds like.
Everyone gets like the itch to just
you just need to fucking
play
one. But like I straight up can just like not play for like weeks at a time and honestly I'll probably be happier for it. But yeah, okay. Anyways, back kind of like okay. I think it's an easy agree, and I think like given this set like how it is, I think a lot of people kind of like recognize that, especially after last set, that like you should definitely just go for ladder snapshots. Spencer's going for them. I'm sure Bruce Law, Philip, and Darth Nub. We saw
Wajan's going for them. Soju now says he's going for them.
Wajan's not going for them, so that helps a lot.
Oh, you're right. Sorry, I misspoke, but you're right.
Yeah, Wajan and Dishop not going for them is really, really nice.
Huge.
Yeah, it opens up slots significantly.
Yeah. So, and then Keenan's going for them. So I don't actually, like, truth be told, I really don't think Soju's actually going to go for them. I think it's just a straight up scam. I don't know what he's going to do, but, like, I just highly, highly, highly doubt he'll ever make his snapshots. I mean, I'm happy to be proven wrong, not really, but, like...
I think he's just more fun on stream to watch. he just like goes
it's hard not
one,
to.
and
it's hard not to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you saw him today, he went 1-1-1, and he's like, all right, I don't even know what he started playing, man. Like, it was some trash.
I should probably... people want to track the snapshots. Looks like it's pretty high. Maybe I should probably snapshot watch party to see if how people are going to finish out.
It's actually pretty hype.
Is it next Wednesday?
So it's every like
Tuesday night.
Yeah. So it's not like it's Wednesday 12 a.m. like whatever some a.m. number, and then
12 a.m. I can't stream at 12 a.m. The baby.
Well, it's like 9 a.m. Like it'd be like it'd be towards the end of your PM PST.
Oh, it's 9 p.m. PST.
It's 8 p.m. PST, I believe. Actually,
I can maybe make that happen. We'll see. Next one's next Tuesday.
Well, all of them are every Tuesday. So
all right,
whichever one you do, whichever one you can't do, feel like doing. Obviously, there's all that.
I'll maybe next Tuesday we could do that. Chat, by the way, overwhelmingly agrees. 92% agree, and I think Raptor some of this summarized it. My feelings. There's too many tournaments that can't even keep up. They're not even special. Pretty sure they can 10x the prize, and it's still not special. It's not about the money.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree. It's because we don't. It's more like it should be. It should be a great opportunity for me1stor8th to win the cup, and kind of have an opportunity to be celebrated and be an opportunity to kind of put your name into the hat. But people don't even have time. I was talking about this on the co-stream. T-Light got eliminated in day 1, and what did he have to do? He had to start grinding for snapshots instead of like actually watching the tournament and hanging out in the co-stream. He actually really wanted to do that, but he's like, I have to grind for snapshots because I have to take my chance at that. There's just never-ending amount of kind of a slog, and where's the absence, right? Where's the off season? Where's the time to kind of feel like motivated? Right now, it feels like if they just keep jam packing it full. The benefit of the system is that Now it's like, basically anybody that grinds through, no one can really be bad and make it like really, really far in regionals, in my opinion, because it's just kind of hard to do that unless you spike a cup, and that's even hard to do as well. But I just think that the system is just the games are taking too long. Tournaments are taking too long. There's too many events. We added an entire new set. We have 33% more tournaments, and we added more cups. If you actually think about it, we had 2 tournaments per set max in the past. And then we had mid set, and then we had 1 tournament in that.
No, we still had 3 cups. It was 3 cups plus.
But the way we divided up was 6 months we had 3 tournaments, and then mid set and regionals. But now now we have every 4 months we have 3 tournaments plus regionals and worlds, and that's so it's more than 33% that's actually happening. There's just way too many. It's probably closer to 40 to 45% more tournaments happening, and that's assuming we're not doing third-party stuff like Box, like EWC, like TSI. Just way too much.
Dude, I actually think like it's not even that. It's not like number of games necessarily, or even like game length. It's like pretty much as soon as they had these like the region merge, right? Like we're literally seeing like I think like 10 to even 15 NA Worlds representatives, like people who have represented NA at Worlds before, straight up quit. And I don't think it's just because like whatever, it's longer or whatever. Like I think like it's like roughly the same length that it's always been, honestly, for most players. So I don't actually think that's the real reason. I actually think like I mentioned this last set when they revealed the format, but like I think like set over set they actually just make it worse for like the most engaged competitive players. I think we like I think Dissoap actually disagrees with this, but like I think if you're like very, 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 very good, as obviously Dissoap and like Setsuko are, I think it's like more than fine for you, honestly. But I think if you're like even like slightly under kind of like that super very, very good tier of player, it's like they're pretty much just like spitting in your face set over set. And I think like it's pretty evident that like I don't know, if you're seeing like literally 12 NA reps, NA Worlds reps not choosing straight up to just not play in any of these tournaments, like I think you should be like looking at the format or looking at something and be like, okay, something's up.
How about this? This is agree number 2 from Day 6 suggesting, and this is something similar we were talking about last week, Guubums. Playing 29 tournament games for Warner Draw is no fun. I would like to see 2 Tacticians Cup percent instead of 3 with larger prize pools, and add a last chance qualifier for regional tournaments without a prize pool. This will solve both problems. What do we think about this? Let's start off with Spencer.
I'll hard agree. I mean, I think I've kind of mentioned it earlier. I think, playing like 29 games for $100 is just, this too is kind of bad.
You would feel like that's okay, even if it feels like you get less chances at making regionals. I don't know if that's actually true with the structure, but would you be okay with it?
Closer to true than that.
It's closer to true, but I feel like I don't know. I'd rather pay a lot more for something.
Okay.
Than nothing.
Guubums.
Okay, I think like just like a blanket, I would agree if this is better than what we have. But I will say like I know, like I didn't really like when Milk was like yapping at the end of the last stream you had with the tournament. I kind of like didn't really want to interject. It's like I just like listening to Milk. I'll control around, I guess. But I think like I think you can straight up lower, like you would actually improve your chances at making a regional, like lower the variance by just doing point carryover. And I still think I've always kind of like championed for point carryover. I think it's just a good thing, and then you just do like different types of cuts.
This is actually our next degree. So I'll cut you there. Sure, now we'll go to me1stor8th, and then we'll revisit this in a second. So me1stor8th, what do you think? Would you be okay with this?
Yeah, it seems better for a player like me as well. Like when there's 3 cup, I need to play every trial and every cup, considering I'm not playing sub-regular event. That means I need to play TFT every weekend.
Yeah.
So it's not like I have 3 cup. For last stream qualifier, I did make it to LCQ as 9, but I just feel like it's not even worth to play it. But I should at that time. It was ending up in its Earth meta, because I feel like I don't have time to prep for it, so I didn't play it. But yeah.
Man, that meta sucked. The Earth meta in set 9. I'm gonna go on a limb and say that I think that they should cut trials as well. I think that if they kept this system and made sub-regionals kind of matter, because sub-regionals are important. Like Brazil, LATAM love their sub-regionals. I think in EMEA, they like their sub-regionals a lot. Like the Germans play the German Cup, right? The French love their own French Cups. I think that if they keep those sub-regionals and build them out more to replicate what they want from trials, make Tacticians Cup basically just 2 weekends with a regional LCQ, that will make the set feel a lot more dynamic. And also, I actually messaged this to Riot. I think that it also will reduce the amount of kind of the toxicity that's developing between all the bickering about spots and competitive parity, right? Like a lot of people there's just a lot of actually bad blood developing between Brazil and Setsuko mainly, but also like, LATAM is just feeling discouraged because of all the hate kind of thrown, especially towards LAN. And like apparently LAS and LAN have had like a heated rivalry for many years. LAS always thought LAN was trash, and now they're like kind of doubling down, like look how bad, like see how bad you guys are. So I just think that there's like actually like a little bit of a problem with that. So I kind of want to cut a lot of the inter-regional competition, make sub-regionals matter more, and I think it kills two birds with one stone. Fewer days, higher quality tournaments, and you still retain a little bit of that inter-regional rivalry before you get to Worlds, which is important. Chad also very much agree. I think these are all seemingly easy agrees. It's just more about if there's any pushback about it. This is one thing that Guubums was talking about before. TFT would be a better competitive product if it were more like golf and there were no point resets between days. This is what you're talking about, right, Guubums?
Yes, this is what I was talking about. I think, nevertheless, even if you don't implement this, I think because the current format is so bad that like the basic suggestion and your suggestion, you talked about the same idea. It's still better than what we have, but I think for me personally, like having played so much TFT tournaments and like all this fun stuff over the years, if they did that switch, I would probably quit. I mean, I'm already probably going to quit anyway. Like, I mean, I've been saying this a lot, but like, I don't even take it that seriously anymore.
Like 6 sets in a row you've said this, but yeah.
No, but I actually don't even play anymore, honestly. Like, I play like 200-300 games a set, and I just
But like, you were talking about you were going for snapshots this set like 5 minutes ago. Now you're like, I'm quitting.
But like set 11 I didn't play, set 10 I didn't play. I played set 9,
yeah.
But 9.5 was pretty ass. Like I didn't really play set 8 that much either. So like I don't know, I don't even play that much anymore. And then dude, okay, yeah, so then like okay, sorry. Back to what I was saying. Like if they did this and just cut people faster. Like after 4 games, if you go 8-8-8-8, like it's fine to cut you. Like it's fine to cut you. And also cuz like Milk, okay, so the reason why I brought this up earlier when I was talking to you the last time, like it's really difficult to have a discussion with Milk because like if you bring up a topic, he'll just like randomly change the topic, which like as a viewer, like I think it's really funny, so I'll just like let him do it. But like it's really difficult to actually discuss like the merits or like the cons of like a specific point or whatever like any implementation of any kind with Milk. It's just really tough. But I think like what Milk brought up was a very very reasonable point, I guess. It's just like dead games or like games that don't matter are like really, really tilting for competitors. Like if you've already guaranteed made it, you should not have to play anymore. And if you've already guaranteed out, you should not be forced to play games that are meaningless. So I think, but you can still do that with point carryover. And I think there's a way around that. And I think there's a way for them to figure it out. And if you do point carryover, it immediately reduces the total number of games you have to play. If assuming like variance control is like any sort of consideration towards the format, which I think it should be in a game like TFT. So I don't know, okay, so we play like what, up to 19 games in a weekend. You can just have that be like 14, but if it like all 14 games are actually of the same weight, which like maybe you do a checkmate format or something like that, but so like 13 of the 14 games are the same weight, then you still have the variance control and you just get to play a fewer number. I don't know, I think it's literally strictly better in every way possible.
Okay,
but
okay, so you agree with this, David. In conclusion, you agree.
Yeah.
Okay. Spencer, what do you think? That's a lot of yapping that Guubums just did.
Yeah. I like the points like being accumulative. Yeah.
Do you feel like that makes it boring though?
I don't think so, because like it makes like every game like matter, right? I think that's pretty good.
For reference, the winner of the tournament this past weekend, if it was total points, was Milk in first, Tex in second, Ripple in third, or actually, no, sorry, Fritz in second. I was Milk, Fritz, then Tex would be top 3, and Ripple would still be 4th somehow, which is really interesting. Me First Wraith would be 5th, it looks like. Me First Wraith, what do you think?
I mean, it sounds fair. I agree with it. Like back in Sen, I remember like even they don't carry all the point. There was like +1 or +2 point if they did well on day 1 and day 2, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like carry over the point or adding a little point should help. Like I just barely made it in, and in day 2 I was like 28 point, and I just loaded that, and day 3 I just high roll, and somehow the tiebreaker doesn't work anymore. So carry over the point seems pretty good.
A lot of people, so the main criticism, Chad actually disagrees with this. The majority voted against. And I think it's because they feel like they don't want inevitability going into the last game. So if you're talking about like, can anybody win? If Spencer's up by like 10 points, he can literally just go dead last and the tournament game like doesn't matter for him. But like he won the tournament. And that could happen multiple games out. You could have it so like the last 2 games, there's just no way for them to lose. The difference between this and golf is that you still have to execute, even if you're multiple strokes ahead. Like, let's say you're playing in the U.S. Open. You're 10 strokes up over second place. You still have to play the last hole and get it over the line. But in TFT, you can literally just have hands off the table.
Well, I kind of like what Mortog brought up. Like, they 1, 2, 3 all add up, and then from there, like, the top 8 is a single lobby.
I was just gonna say, I mean, I think every tournament should be checkmate. It's kind of, I think it's like really ridiculous to me that like the World Championship is checkmate and then no other tournament's checkmate. Like
that's another that's another subject. Okay, like, go ahead.
I don't even like checkmate, but I think if like we're accepting of the fact that checkmate will exist, and there's no way around it, then like, you know, make that true. Like it, you know, instead of like what we have right now, where it's like we just have one tournament that happens to be checkmate, and like no other. For like every other, I don't know, like normally in like most like sports or other competitions, it's like everything kind of like replicates the penultimate like format, right? Like everything has that same format, and it's, I don't know. I mean, actually, that's not always true. Like for example, chess is not true, but like people do not like chess format for that reason. Literally that reason, by the way. But
bring checkmate to chess. That's a sentence that a lot of chess players are like, what?
But yeah, I think that's like a way around that problem.
Yeah,
just making internet.
It's interesting. That is something to think about. So the way Mortdog is suggesting it would be Tactician's Trials and Tactician's Cup is now one tournament. Tactician's Cup, and basically it's a 4-day tournament on back-to-back weekends. And then you cut after each day based on people that's making it, and then on the final day, it's just guaranteed 8 players. Instead of like 32 into this like last 2 lobbies thing. That sounds like it could work, and that would be a way for them to basically essentially repackage everything into what we're talking about. And I think that would drive a lot more excitement, because then it's just like it becomes kind of like a TFT major in a way. Like it's kind of like this whole long process. So I'm open to the idea. You know what, Guubums, just for that, I'll try to reach out and see what they think about that.
Okay, for the record, I don't think it should like narrow it down to 8, but you could have like. You could still have like a final lobby of 8, but I think like to have a full day of just 8 players is probably slightly worse, in my opinion. I'd have to think about it more. I don't want to just like say stuff without like
sure.
But yeah,
says what we say.
Yeah,
I thought that would be better for the viewer experience, because like you can actually like follow the games.
Yeah. That is one thing I don't like with the final day. There's like so much happening that I don't see, and all of a sudden, surprise! Text made it to final lobby. It's like, wait, what? I think there's a lot of that in TFT that I don't like.
Part of that is like pretty endemic to DFT, I want to say. It's just because like how it's played and how it's like already currently like absorbed as like an esport, as a form of entertainment. It's like that's just how it's like gonna be to some degree. But I mean, I think you can explore a lot of ways to make the current format better, and I'm actually happy that like obviously I have expressed numerous times some negativity about the format, but I am happy to see that like a lot of other like well-established pros, or like pretty much like people that are very invested into like the pro scene, are also like taking, well, whether or not it doesn't have to be like a real stand, but like just like Soju like saying he's not playing tournaments anymore, or like Kyun saying he's not playing, like these people saying they're not playing tournaments anymore. It's just like it helps show to the tournament organizers and to Riot that they are doing a lot of things that is like really turning it off for a lot of like the competitive players. Like a lot of the competitive players, people who have gone to, I said this earlier, but like there's like 12 worlds NA world reps that are pretty much just not playing in tournaments this set. Is that all like to me that is like so crazy, but I don't know, maybe I don't know.
It's alarming. It's an alarming trend where, because there's so much burnout, like people talk about like Wage or Dish Soap. Dish Soap is going to be the first player ever to make it to 3 worlds in a row. And like I said, there's a 24-hour off season for him, which is just not enough. And he actually decided to take that off season by traveling for the first time out of the country. Like that was the first time Dish Soap ever left the country. He went to Europe, really? Into the Middle East. Yes. And so he pushed himself a lot, like physically. There were times where like I definitely noticed that Dish Soap was just not feeling. He was just not like vibing with it. He just wanted to like take a break. And so there's just, and Wei Jin made 3 worlds out of the past 4, so he basically just has no off season. So yeah, I understand exactly what you're saying, but again, we're kind of touching upon some of the similar topics before. Either way, this is really interesting food for thought. The last thing is, someone asked about why not just playing like an established league week over week. That actually exacerbates the problem we're talking about, which is a lot of games that are perceived to be meaningless, even if they aren't. It just feels like a lot of things, like who cares if you miss week 3 of the LCS? Like, quite frankly, right now, it doesn't really matter very much. But you don't want to miss playoffs. And I think that regular season league play in TFT doesn't really accomplish much outside of like help sort for variance. That's about it. And there's also a lot of reasons not to like it. There's a closed system, which you don't really want. You want TFT to be more open, amongst many other things. Okay, that's a great discussion. I think we're going to pin it here because we don't want the episode to run too much longer. That's basically it. Anything else that you want to say before we just move on to the final parts of just like talking about other things? Guubums, I know you had a lot to say, so I just want to make sure you feel like you get it out of your system.
No, I think I got it out of my system, and I think like I mean you especially, but like there's a lot of avenues to like kind of get your voice heard. Like okay, we joke about like okay, everybody's like bitching about something, but Riot actually does a really good job with like just like receiving feedback, whether or not they always implement like suggestions given by people. Obviously, like they shouldn't always implement suggestions given by people. That's just ridiculous. But yeah. I think there's a lot of avenues for like getting your voice heard. So I think that's good. And I think, despite like my personal negativity towards the format, I think like I know like it's not like the tournament organizers or Riot like want the format to be bad, right? Like that's not their goal. Is not to make people unhappy. But obviously, right now I think we're at a little bit of a low point in terms of like. For that, and I think I do expect things to get better. So it's like, yeah.
The question that I want to ask always is, who is TFT esports intended for? Because it's not for the shareholders or the people making money at the decision that Riot. TFT esports makes no money. People participating makes no money. Me first, are you playing in these tournaments for money?
No.
Spencer, are you playing for the money?
like kind of. But,
okay, but like I mean, but is there money really actually the meat? Like is money actually the biggest factor here? It's not. No. And Guubums clearly not. A lot of people play because they loved it. They love the game. They love competition. They love putting themselves out there. And money is a factor. Don't get me wrong. Winning the world championship, winning Vegas, or all those things is huge. And if the players who you're trying to serve are unhappy with it, then we gotta fix it, because I think ultimately TFT esports isn't going to be like something that's the casuals are going to follow. Like it's not the people who are playing Talker's Trials right now and are in my DMs messaging me because for some reason I tweeted about Talker's Trials, the PV round. I'm getting a DM every hour from someone else that completed and be like, "Ha, my score is higher than you." Those people don't care about TFT competitive at all. They just want to play the game mode and have fun. And I feel like we should stop trying to be like, okay, well, TFT is going to be like something that appeals to the average TFT player. It's not. There's just a really hardcore, hyper-engaged audience that want to care about it. Let's build it for them. Speaking of, and this is the final note of the episode, they officially announced the on-site co-streamers for the Macau Open. Speaking of building it for the people that care, these are the official co-streamers. We got Disguised Toast, Soju holding it for North America. We got Godlike from CN with Ching Ro. These are really popular.
Wait, that's CN the world finalist.
Yeah, that's right. Both of them are world finalists.
I meant, dude, he's the league world finalist.
Which one?
Godlike.
Godlike.
Yeah.
Yes. We got M. Oh yeah, go ahead. Do you want to say more?
No. It's nothing that important.
M Cho, who's I think for Vietnam, Sean's for France, Sologa Song for Germany, 8-Lane Jaywalking for Korea, and Jazz Latte for Taiwan. I don't think that's the last of them, but I do notice there is no Spanish and Brazil or Portuguese rather for the Brazilians. So maybe there's more to this now that I haven't seen. But either way, there's a lot to look forward to for Macau. Very excited for it. Snapshots are in 2 days. So if you guys want to get your games in, make sure you end Challenger or GM or Masters to get your tickets, assuming that you guys are making it out with us. And on that note, that is it for our podcast. Let's go ahead and get some final words and thoughts before we wrap things up. We'll start off with me1stor8th. Thanks for joining the show,
All
man.
right. Thank you for inviting me. It's fun to talk about TFT in the podcast. I will try to grind the set and try to make it to the world, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. You are streaming. Do you have a consistent stream schedule, or like when do you stream?
Oh, not really. I'm planning to flick the stream for a week.
Okay, never mind then. Just check back and just follow him on Twitch. He'll check back in some other time. Spencer, thanks for joining us for the first time.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I was pretty nervous, but yeah, it was pretty fun.
There's nothing to be nervous about.
Nah, I saw you were a little bit jittery at first, but I feel like you eased up and you had a lot of great things to say, so I appreciate it. And hopefully we'll have you back one day. Maybe if you pop off for regionals or world something like that, we'll have you back. Okay, Guubums, thanks for tapping in here for Bryce. I might tap you again in the near future.
Yeah, sure. I mean, obviously you could reach out whenever.
You have to redeem yourself for a fantasy draft previously, I think. So
no, wait, hold on. No, wait, I had one good one, one bad one. I think I did too.
Oh, have you?
I know,
okay.
I know the first one I for sure like straight read it down, and Bryce is giving me shit for that.
I think you only did one. I think you punted it really hard, but
oh fuck. Okay. Okay. I'll get you back on the next one.
All right, sounds good.
Oh yeah, go for people in chat to go watch my YouTube. And I mean, technically you can watch my stream, but I don't fucking stream. But I mean, yeah, watch my YouTube. It's actually good.
It is. Guubums, if you love like just short to the point stuff, Guubums, he does videos like, here are the only 6 comps you really need to know to climb, and he explains it in the Guubums way. And you would expect him to talk a lot, but it's actually quite concise. So
wait, dude, all the comments are always like, this guy never fucking stops talking. But like, it's still like kind of concise because like I'm talking about like the comps and whatever. Like when I'm talking about the topic at hand, but like
it's true.
Yeah, I mean I talk a lot. So
all right. As for me, thank you to these guys for showing up. I believe Bryce might be back. He might actually be taking set 12 off entirely, but I have to sync with him on that. But if you guys missed any part of this episode, make sure to check out our stuff, youtube.com/@DTIYDK, or follow us on our social media so you can keep track of what's going on. But yeah, like overall, we're really happy with like TFT and the direction it's going. A lot of the stuff that we vocalize is really just to help TFT's competitive scene continue to improve. And ultimately, that's what this podcast is about. So appreciate you guys. Love you guys. From Frodan, Guubums, Spencer, and me1stor8th. Thanks for watching. And we'll see you guys next time for more TFT action. Have a good night.